ZoneAgri.com or calling Saracen today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
The Zone is on the road this week. Tuesday, Justin Acri takes the show to Royal Windows. Be listening to find out how they can upgrade your windows. This Tuesday, starting at 10 on 103.7 The Buzz, and check them out now at royalwindows.com.
No matter what you do,
you were finished.
We can't be stopped.
Oh, well, allow me to retort.
103.7 The Buzz.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
KABZ, Little Rock.
Arkansas, an outdoor paradise. People travel hundreds of miles to enjoy what, well, some of us take for granted. We are called the natural state without reason, with an abundance of rivers, lakes, and streams loaded with adventure. Scenic views that will take your breath away. Biking trails and back roads just begging to be discovered. Sit back and relax as Ray Tucker and longtime journalist Brian Hendricks explore our magnificent state with this week's edition of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
And we're on with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Welcome. It's been a very hot time since we last saw you, but
you think it's hot out there?
I believe it finally is, Ray. I finally met my match. I can't stand it.
So if you're going to go wet a hook, you better go early in the morning. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you better go early in the morning or late in the evening. Night fishing is a great thing to do right now, but it is hot. Everybody needs to be careful out there. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. Take your Gatorade with you, your Pedialyte, whatever you need to do to keep your electrolytes up. Wear sunscreen, as Dr. Hayden Franks would tell us, and a wide floppy hat. Keep the sun off of you. Enjoy yourself. But we have a special guest with us right now, Heather Tackett-Wardle. Now I'm going to introduce Heather Tackett-Wardle. If y'all, anybody that's been up in the Heights remembers her as the owner of the Southern Exposure store that was up there next to the old Starbucks, which is now Muggs Coffee Shop. And I believe she came to us through via Nashville, Arkansas. Is that right?
Yes,
and
you got it.
And now you're up in Bentonville, and you don't tell me you got one toe on the line and you're about to head off into another state.
No, oh gosh, no. 43 years Arkansan, can't get me out of here.
All right.
Now, you didn't have the Great Southern Sauce Company, did you?
No, I did not.
Well, that was
not me.
That was Randy Insminger. I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. So she had the Southern Exposure store, and she lived off of Cantrell up that way, but now she's up in Bentonville. But she's a newly minted member of the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation Board of Directors, and that's a very coveted spot to have. For people who don't know what the foundation is, it's a political advocacy fundraising arm for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. It does some of the functions that the Game and Fish Commission is not legally able to do, and it raises awareness and raises a lot of funds for a lot of great projects that augment what Game and Fish does. And Heather is now part of that group, and congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
So tell me, you and I have talked a lot over the years. We used to visit quite a bit in your store up there, and you and your family have a long abiding interest and passion for the outdoors. Obviously from
yes.
Nashville, you're big into hunting, and you know all about fishing on Lake Millwood and all that. So tell us about your journey, the desire to serve in this way.
Well, first, thank you both for having me on. And Ray, I won't talk like I've talked to Brian for years and years. I'm gonna talk to this audience in the full capacity that people don't know me, right? I think that the first and pivotal conversation is exactly that. I am a Arkansas girl, and I might say that a few times, but I'm a girl who was raised in South Arkansas. Nashville is home, and I do have to say shout out to Gary Dan Butrell because he was my advocate for getting on this foundation board. So the long and the short of it are, I grew up in the outdoors, and then I moved to Central Arkansas, and I lived in the Little Rock area for 19 years before moving to Bentonville a little over 3 years ago. So I think that one of the things I would say, as far as the foundation is concerned, being one of 3 women on this board is such an honor and a privilege. And I look back over the trajectory of just being an Arkansan and growing up like this. It's not something a lot of women talk about. And so I just find this to be a tremendous honor. And if you want to ask me anything more relevant to that, I don't think I have a problem talking about anything at this point.
Your love of the outdoors came from what? From your dad? Or?
Well, I think just in general growing up we had a cattle farm, timber farm, and I grew up just seeing my whole family outside. So even taking my son now, we take him back to, we call it, quote, the farm to go see Honey and Papa. And so just taking him down to Nashville and being outside is something I grew up knowing. Just that was just what you did as a kid in the South. You were just raised outdoors. So I wouldn't say that my hunting came into play until I got married, but just being outdoors is something that has always been just a calling for who I am.
All right, so look, she's got a son named Bear, and that's not a nickname. That's his actual name.
Yes. So Bear will have to live up to that name in some capacity. And I will say that when I got pregnant with Bear, it was very unexpected. We were living in the midst of COVID, and I thought that I had COVID. And Brian knows this. He's met our son, and it was the biggest blessing of mine and my husband's life. But I told my husband, I said, oh my gosh, you've got to give this child a name. You've got to give this child a name. And we are huge readers, big readers. And so my husband came to me and he was like, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm going to name him after a William Faulkner short story called The Bear. And he was like, but I really want you to read it, and I want you to understand why I want to name our son The Bear, or Bear. And I don't know if either one of you have read William Faulkner, but it's a tough read. Like, it's a very hard book to get through.
No punctuation.
Right. And a lot of words that we don't use in the South anymore. Let's just put it that way. So I read it, and The Bear is the story, which I think is the whole premise of what I want to instill in our son as an outdoorsman. First of all, you follow those elders that came before you. You listen to people that have been in the outdoors, and I think that is so relevant on so many fronts, is that you listen to elders for so many reasons. And then when the opportunity comes to actually shoot that bear, and you look it in the eyes, you might not want to shoot that bear because you worked so hard to track and learn and grow with him. He's grown with you. You've learned his path. He's learned your path. And so that story is just so relevant to Brian and I as far as parents and raising a child that is going to grow up hunting and fishing and in conservation efforts. I think that his name is just a solid foundation for why I even want to be part of the foundation board.
Yeah, you were talking about the Faulkner perspective. My perspective would be, I'm going to shoot that, and I'm going to have to spend the rest of the night dragging that thing out of the woods and skinning it, finding myself a taxidermist. No, I think I'm just going to let that go.
Yeah. Well, there's that too. I will be anxious to see if one day he's like, hey, I want to get a bear tag. And I think I'm going to have a hard time with that one because I've told several people that are part of the commission that I would love to, be able to go on those excavations where they talk and they look about bears and they do all the bear hunting and not hunting, but tagging efforts.
Right.
And I hope Bear doesn't want to shoot a bear one day. I hope he doesn't.
We're visiting with Heather Tackett Wardle of Bentonville, a newly appointed member of the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation. We're going to, get into. We're about to take a break here in a little bit. But we're going to get into, what are the duties of a foundation board member? What are some of your goals and objectives, and how does the board operate? Because that's kind of an area that a lot of Arkansans, most Arkansans, if they know it exists, don't know how it works, and that's really fascinating stuff. And you do such great work.
Well, I hope we do great work. Do you want me to expand on that now, or are you going to break?
Yeah, you can. Let's see. Ray is giving me the evil eye.
I'm not giving you an evil eye.
He's like, this girl can talk.
Well,
And we love it. We love it. Believe me.
yeah. Ray loves my ability to ask a question like that about 10 seconds before we go to a break. But you were appointed when?
I was appointed in December.
Here we go. We're taking a break
very cool.
on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We'll be right back with Heather Tackett Wardle. Hang with us. Going to make us a little money, and we'll be right back with you.
Oh, my.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, it's Shark Month 2 at Gwatney Buick GMC. Shark Month promises the biggest deals of the year and ready to take a bite out of your payment. New Invistas starting at under $24,000. Sink your teeth into Sierra 1500s, up to $15,000 off MSRP. Sharks can smell a deal for miles around, like all new Buicks on the lot at 0.9. Are you underwater? Let's trade. Canyons at just $249 per month and Sierras at 0%. It's Shark Month 2. And you're going to need a bigger truck. Call Gwatney Buick GMC at 501-945-4444. Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Stock number is 32616, 32661. Some offers require qualifying trade-in. Canyon is a low mileage lease. All offers with approved credit.
Everybody knows the Brad Hendricks Law Firm is famous for car wrecks, big truck crashes, and medical negligence cases. But they do a lot more than that. They help good people who can benefit from bankruptcy, and they also help older folks who had their Social Security claims denied. When you need a lawyer, call the firm that is pure Arkansas, where you won't ever be just a number. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big natural sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on. Laying out on a hammock, waking up to birds chirping, and board games with the family.
What? It's not cheating.
Frank, you're scaring the kids.
Oh, come on, guys. We're having fun. It's family time.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming.
Technically, it's a loophole.
It's a children's board game. You're a grown man, Frank.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Workdays work better with food. And not just any food, the good stuff. That's why there's Easy Cater, the workplace food platform where you can order from a huge variety of great restaurants for any group size, anytime, anywhere, all in one place. Whether it's gourmet deli trays for the client meeting, spicy noodles for the night shift, tacos for the weekend crew, or a big box of brownies to tell your team, thank you. Just use Easy Cater, one platform to feed them all and feed them well. Start an order at easycater.com.
Instant fun every day? That's a win. The chance at a life-changing jackpot? Win. Creating scholarships for Arkansas students? That's the biggest win of all. When you play the lottery, it's a win-win-win for Arkansas. So far, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has raised over $1.5 billion to fund more than 822,000 scholarships. Keep playing and winning Arkansas. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hello, this is Justin Acree. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and the new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH. When you think ortho, think UAMS.
And And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we are visiting with Heather Tackett-Wardle of Bentonville, formerly of Little Rock, formerly of Nashville. She's kind of doing the northern migration thing. When you're anyway, we asked you a question.
Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, but Brian, one thing you may not know about me, just for the record, the first 10 years of my career, I did what's called my tour of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because I worked for the legislature, and I audited every single square inch of this state for 10 years.
Wow.
So even though I've lived in 3 parts of it, I still consider all of it my favorite.
You've been over
Just
every
so you
bit
know.
of it. Oh, cool. Every
bit of it.
I think you did tell
I
me
guess
that
she straightened you out, Brian.
Well, she did, and I think she straightened me out on that a few years ago, too, but I forgot.
Well, it's just because, like, I don't like to call any part home because I love the whole state. Like, the whole state is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's just everything about it. So, but yes, I live up here. I live up here now.
So I think the question before break was, what was the process like of getting appointed, and what
The
are your
board.
the board,
Yeah.
Game and Fish Foundation board.
So I have to rewind for one quick second and say that an integral part of me getting on this board has to be Anne Marie Doremus, and I know you guys know her, and I adore her.
And we do too.
It was actually probably in 2016 or 17 when I had my retail store. She was one of the people that really made me realize that being outdoors and being a hunter was something that I could do. And I never really thought about that. I thought, okay, I'm not a hunter, but I love the outdoors. And I'd always gone and watched my husband with our dog Hank, duck hunt and that sort of thing. So I have to shout out to Anne Marie, because if it wasn't for her and me watching her become a commissioner, I don't think that being on this board would have ever been something that I realized was a possibility. So I just want to say that first. But when I realized that it could be a possibility, I said a couple of things to a couple of people, and one of those is a board member with me, and he was my former boss when I was in high school, Gary Dan Futrell. I said, hey, Gary Dan, I don't know if there's place for me, but I love to talk to people. I love to talk to people about Arkansas. I love to talk about the importance of being safe in the outdoors. And there are just so many different things, being a mom, being a woman in the outdoors, that I told him, I said, I don't know if this is ever a possibility. And so I said that to him a year ago. And the next thing you know, December the 6th, I was told, hey, guess what? You're a new board member. So it kind of came as something that was like a pipeline and like something that I was always kind of hopeful for. But then he spoke on my behalf and made that possible. And it has to be a unanimous vote of the board. So not only out of 50 members, like 47 or 48 people had to say yes to me, which is just a tremendous honor. Like what an honor for your peers and people that you've looked up to or you've known, like you mentioned Dr. Franks and sunscreen. I've known Dr. Franks since I was 14. He was my doctor, for years. So it's just an honor to have this opportunity. But yeah, there we are with that.
Your big fundraiser, your big annual fundraiser is coming up. Tell us about that.
Well, this one is pretty exciting because it's our biggest one, and it's coming up in August. It's our largest fundraiser, and I think you were talking about one of the questions is how does the board operate? And this one is so important for us because I looked at our numbers on our financials. I really think that we gave back of what we raised last year. That total number is not just something that I know in my head, what we raised last year. But we gave $1.3 million toward initiatives directly to the Game and Fish Commission. And as a former legislative auditor and knowledge in that background of what the Game and Fish is given in a budget capacity, this fundraiser for us allows us to utilize, the bulk of these funds toward game wardens, toward youth hunting and sport activities, just conservation efforts. So this is like the biggest, I'd call it a fun party out of the year. I've been to it several times just as a patron, but this is my first experience to come in as a board member. So I really might be drinking from a fire hydrant pretty soon. I'm not sure, but I also know that Tyler and Matt and Deke and RK and Jibby, they've got all this under control. But I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really excited about being on this side of it this year.
Well, it's got to be about the only time I get to see you anymore is at the Game and Fish Foundation banquet. So, I'm looking forward to that always.
You can come up here and go fishing anytime and take me, because I need someone to show me how to go on the White River and show me how to fish.
Well.
Show me how to do that.
We've had enough really good guides on our program from up that way. Brian's got connections, and he can make that happen for you.
We can make that happen. And we got one coming on. We got one coming on later on the show, Ben Dubois, and we'll talk to him too. But right now we're talking to Heather Tackett-Wardle of Bentonville, a member of the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation Board of Directors. We're going to take a break. Can you hang with us one more segment?
Absolutely.
Okay. So as we go into summertime, what is the temperature like up there? What's the conditions like there?
Okay, don't hate me, but it's amazing because I was in Nashville last week, and I came up to the mountains, and it's always 10 degrees cooler. I don't know what it is, but it feels good up here, but it's also sweltering this week. This week is really hot.
You think that feels good?
Yeah.
You wait till Brian gets you up on the White River.
Yeah, and
I know.
Yeah, 102 outside, but 52 on the water. It's a good time. We're going to take us a little break here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We'll be right back with Heather Tackett-Wardle of the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation. Later, we'll talk some trout fishing.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The Norwegians are a rather cheeky bunch. They claim Sweden has one thing Norway doesn't have: good neighbors. Their incredible soccer uniforms, which are their country's flag, the infectious rowing cheer, and the inestimable superstar Erling Haaland have captivated the world. And you just have to know that it is killing the Swedes to watch their overlooked neighbors take a bow on the biggest stage of them all. If you see any Norwegians this week, bring them to Doublebee's. Actually, if you see any non-Norwegians, bring them to Doublebee's too. Because who wouldn't love the deliciousness and deals you find at Doublebee's? Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-600-2763. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-600-2763. That's 501-600-2763.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist? Or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance. A reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. Take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down.
A message from the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority.
There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
At the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, power isn't about profit, it's about people. We don't answer to Wall Street shareholders, we answer to our members. Every farm, home, and business matters to us. Every decision we make, every pole, every line, every light switched on is made to keep our members' power reliable and affordable. It's our members, living and working across Arkansas, that matter. We're better connected together because members matter to the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
Talk about somebody who is refreshed now, fresh off vacation. Neil Atkinson with Sarah Casino Resort. Neil, welcome back.
Absolutely. Talking about this heat down here, I was up on the upper East Coast, and it was about 85 degrees, and it hit me in the face as soon as the plane door opened when I got to Little Rock this afternoon. But glad to be back, and the summer's all heated up, and barreling and getting ready for football season with SEC Media Days coming up.
So outside of Major League Baseball, we've got WNBA going on and a few other things.
Yeah, WNBA. And look, I'm going to bring it up. I know we may have a little bit of soccer fatigue, but the Major League Soccer starts back, even though Messi's going to miss the first two games with Miami. But so some of those that got hooked on the soccer there, that starts back here in 2 days. So Major League Soccer will be back. Canadian Football League, if you want to go ahead and get ready for the weekend. But, hey, we're here in the South. We're going to be doing mainly baseball, and with 2 weeks out before the trade, I know a lot of people are going to keep the news out for that. A lot of blockbuster trades being rumored out there. And again, 2 weeks away from the Hall of Fame game, too. So it's my favorite time of year, getting ready for football season.
Neil, always a pleasure to visit with you. Have a great rest of the week, and I know Randy will be talking to you down the line, okay?
All right. Good luck, everybody, on your parlays. Stay safe out there, stay cool, and good luck.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we're going back to Bentonville to visit with Heather Tackett-Wardle, who has recently been appointed to the Arkansas Game and Fish Foundation Board of Directors. And tell us, if you will, Heather, what is on your all's plate right now? What are you all focusing on? And, what are some of your objectives for the coming year?
Well, we have, I want to say, across the state, I'm actually going to look at this so I don't tell you a fib. I want to say we have, 20, 25 evenings with the board, where all across the state we have an event to either highlight conservation efforts or to do something like Big Buck Classic was in January. The Hall of Fame banquet's in August, so that's the biggest one coming up. But there are all these fundraising events, and so it's kind of like when one ends, the next one begins, and they're all across the state. So again, Tyler is just a valid player on our team, and he's hopping from one event to the next. But we don't stop. So one here in Northwest Arkansas happened in May, and then we have another event in September in Northwest Arkansas. But I was just on an email the other day about a new event that we're going to have in Texarkana later this fall that I will probably go to because, that's my old stomping ground. Sure. So we don't stop. We just keep going, and we're always looking for corporate sponsors, for people who are interested in endowment funds that they may want to leave a legacy toward Game and Fish in some capacity. So our work doesn't stop on the foundation. We are constantly going to raise money for the commission and conservation efforts in general.
You've got all that experience with the legislature as an auditor. How difficult is it to achieve a consensus with 50 members?
I don't think it's hard. I really don't, because a lot of what happens is Mr. Schoenrock is just, first of all, one of my new favorite people. And talking to him, he has got some great ideas for the Game and Fish Commission in general, right? And the commission itself, I've met and talked to quite a few commissioners. So when something comes to us, it has already been well thought out. There was a piece of land here in Northwest Arkansas that a gentleman, Mr. Henderson, wanted to donate to the Game and Fish. Well, it's not that easy to just donate a piece of land to the Game and Fish because then it's state-owned property, and that's not always the best option, right? And so seeing that from a legislative perspective, knowing that we have a 501c3 option to take hold of that piece of property and be the holder, that's a great effort for us. So it made a lot of sense when we took Mr. Henderson's piece of land and are holding that in play, just like the Ross Foundation. They donate to the Game and Fish Foundation as opposed to the commission. So when something comes to the foundation board as a vote, it's already been well thought out, well played out, well versed. It's not like we're making a decision on a whim to spend money on something that would benefit the state as a whole or a community as a whole. I think the powers that be in the commission and Mr. Schoenrock are doing great work right now.
If you're just tuning in, we're visiting with Heather Tackett-Wardle. She is the newest member of the Game and Fish Foundation Board of Directors. Would you like more women to get involved in the outdoors like you have?
I would like for more women to get in the outdoors, yes, but also I feel like women are already in the outdoors, and that is one thing I would like to highlight in my next 3 years, is that women are already out there. They just don't realize it. For example, I am growing a garden this year, and the Game and Fish Commission has an incredible piece of education on their website about monarch butterflies. Have y'all either one studied the monarch butterfly or how important bee pollination is in this state?
And how important gardens, local gardens like that are to their survival. Yeah,
we've
right. Go ahead.
We've had a lady, Leslie, with the Quail Forever on our show, who's a pollinator, and she comes on occasionally and fills us all in on that. So yes, ma'am.
So that's my biggest thing for women is, would I love for more women to be on the board? Absolutely. Libby Davis is on there with me right now, along with Kayla. Y'all know I forgot her last name at the spur of my tongue, but she's a silver medalist, an Olympian.
Oh, Kaylee Browning.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was like, her name just escaped me. But I think that the misconception is women don't realize that they have a voice in the outdoors, but they're already in it. I mean, they're already in it. There's bird watching. There are avenues for gardening, and the importance of that monarch butterfly that now I'm just in awe with. And women, especially educating their children on what I do with Bear every day is how important it is not to throw trash on the ground, because this is the only earth God gave us, and we have to preserve it. And so I think women are already there; they just don't realize they're there.
Let me ask you a question. What would be a seminal outdoor moment that just, if somebody asks you that question, it just comes to you like a sunrise over a duck hole or something like that? What is that one thing that grabbed you?
Oh, well, you said it right there. There has never in my existence been a hesitation on being outside when the sun rises or the sun sets. And my husband, Brian, his name is Brian, he knows that I will get up at 5 a.m., but when that sunrise comes up or that sunset, I just think that God gave us those moments to remind us of just how important life is, and it's my moment. It is my moment, and I'm sitting here looking outside right now, and I'm not seeing a sunset, but I can't wait for the sun to set. You know what I mean? Like, that's my moment.
And there's so much other things going on up there, with the bike trails and all the things that they're doing, and that Central Arkansas is really putting a great effort into that sort of spectrum of the outdoor recreational world too.
What's it called? Southwest Trail, is it what it's called?
I believe so, yeah. And that I think those things figure into the outdoor culture a lot more prominently, especially going forward than we might give it credit for.
Well, and I think Bentonville, and I'm speaking to this as only being a resident of this actual town for 3 years, Bentonville gets a bad rep across the rest of the state for its own reasons, right? But people that I've met that live here for the outdoors. I would say 90% of the people that I'm talking to that are transient to this community, they are in the mountain bike trails. They're hiking. They're here in nature. And I think just highlighting the broader work that the Game and Fish Foundation and Commission have, it's an easy topic for us to just already be talking about. I have struggled personally because I'm aware of it. I am aware of what nature looks like here, and because I grew up in it. But I think that educating as a long-term initiative for me as a board member, just advocating for what conservation looks like to someone that is moving here new, that's important to me.
All right. Heather Tackett-Wardle, it has been such a joy visiting with you.
Thank you.
Amen to that.
And
I could talk another hour.
Yeah, I know, and we might just have you do that. We're going to take us a break, and we'll be right back with Ben Dubois to talk about trout fishing on the White River.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. DuBose Hayward and George Gershwin's Summertime was composed for the 1935 opera Porgy and Bess, with these words, summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mom is good looking. Right now, my sons are thinking, well, we got one of those at least anyway. As you enjoy the summertime with vacations and the beach and the lake and fun, let us be thankful that we live in such an incredible country. Get out there and soak up the sun, my brothers and sisters. Double B's is here to help you party in the USA, as we have many of the things you need for your next pool party or trip to the lake. Delicious drinks, sensational sandwiches, and many other items that you might have forgotten to pack. We have it all. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Everybody knows the Brad Hendricks Law Firm is famous for car wrecks, big truck crashes, and medical negligence cases. But they do a lot more than that. They help good people who can benefit from bankruptcy. And they also help older folks who had their Social Security claims denied. When you need a lawyer, call the firm that is pure Arkansas, where you won't ever be just a number. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Millar golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Spring is here, and y'all have made us the #1 truck bed dealer in the state. We want to thank you for your support and business. If you're looking for the best customer service from folks that can handle any type of trailer and take care of you after the sale, with hometown service, it's HJ Trailer Sales. Our team will handle all your service and warranty needs. See what great customer service looks like at HJ Trailer Sales on Albert Pike in Hot Springs, or check us out on Facebook.
Hello, this is Justin Acree. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and the new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH. When you think ortho, think UAMS.
Fraud is on the rise, and scammers are getting more convincing every day. But remember this, your bank will never call you asking for your debit card number, expiration date, PIN, security code, or online banking login information. If you receive a message or call that feels off, trust your instincts. Hang up. Don't click. Don't respond. Instead, contact your bank directly using a number you know and trust. Protect your information. Protect your money. When in doubt, call your bank.
Brian Hendricks, are you telling me you got a fishing trip planned this week on the White River?
I do have a fishing trip planned Thursday on the White River with our next guest, Ben DuBois. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ben DuBois. How are you guys doing?
Well, doing well. I'm going to introduce Ben by going back a ways. In 2006, there was a writer at the Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette named Buddy Goff. Good friend of mine. He's passed away, but he wrote an article about a young fella who was about 6-9 years old, going fishing on Dry Run Creek, and it was Ben. And he wrote this article about him, and so here we are 20 years later. Ben is now in Cotter. This fishing trip had such an effect on him that he is now in Cotter, a full-time fishing guide for a number of years. And so we're glad to have you with us. And so if you would, kind of back us up a little bit and tell us, Ben, first tell us about your business. Let's back up a little later. Tell us about your guide service, how long you've been doing it, how people get in touch with you, all that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm Ben DuBois. I live in Cotter. My wife and I, we just had our first child. He's 9 months old. Love this area. I run Cotter Elite Anglers. It's a fly fishing service based out of Cotter, but we fish all up and down the White River. We fish North Fork at times too. Super special area. I really enjoy teaching beginners. It's always fun to get the experienced angler, but do a lot of beginner trips, and it is a awesome place to fish if you're a beginner. You get lots of opportunity. It's okay if you have some mess ups. You're going to get another shot at them. But some of the best ways to get in contact with me would be through my website at CotterEliteAnglers.com. Also have an Instagram, Cotter Elite Anglers, on there. Those are really the top two ways. My cell number, my rates, and everything are listed on there. But what a opportunity, what a place to be. We love it here and could not be happier. We've been here for just over 2 years now. I've been in the guide industry. That's really all I've ever done for the last 10 years or so. So I'm on the hunting side, a lot on the fishing side. Now to be here doing my own thing with Cotter Elite Anglers, just couldn't be happier. It's truly a dream come true.
Ben, spell out the name of your business.
It's Cotter, like the town here, Cotter Elite Anglers.
Yeah, nobody's ever thought to name a guide service Welcome Back Cotter.
Right.
So take us back in time.
You may not be old enough to remember that.
Well,
Brian.
I was afraid of that, but you take your chances sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's go back in time a little bit. You're on Dry Run Creek. How did you meet with Buddy Goff, and tell us how that all came about?
Yes, sir. So when I was in middle school at McNair Middle School, Coach Hunt had a fly fishing club that we would meet, and it's 1 or 2 days after school. We'd meet for a few hours, and he taught us how to cast. He taught us the basics of bug entomology on the rivers here in Arkansas. Taught us some basics about fly tying, and then we would do a field trip at the end of the year where we would come over here and fish Dry Run Creek for half a day, and we also did a tour of Wapsie, which was very cool, for half of a day. And a lot of my buddies I met in that fly fishing club I'm still great friends with today. I actually just fished with some of them over this past weekend. But that was my intro to fly fishing there in 6th, 7th grade, there at McNair Middle School. Coach Hunt, I mean, shout out Coach Hunt. He taught us the basics. He spent his extra time, took time out of his day to teach us. He was a great mentor. Awesome guy.
And was Buddy just happened to be there, or tell us about that article?
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was there. He was there writing an article on the club, and he did an interview on me. That was where I met Buddy. He did an interview on me there. And now here we are looking back 20 years later. That was in 2006.
Let me ask you this.
Now I'm over here doing that full time.
How many cigarettes did Buddy go through during that interview with you?
I couldn't tell you the exact number, but there was definitely some smoke in the air.
There's always a haze. There's always a haze around Buddy.
That is hilarious. I definitely remember that. Yes, sir.
We've had a number of people on Guides on the River. So
yes, sir.
Maybe ask this, what maybe separates you from some of the other guys, and you have great success.
Yes, sir. There is a ton of guys over here, a lot of great guys. It's hard to pick a bad one. I really enjoy teaching the beginner level. Feel that I'm very patient. Like working with people from, like step one, going over the basics of casting. Usually we'll start with nymphing, and it's okay if you mess up 2 or 3 times. You're getting better each time. You're going to get an opportunity to land a fish. I'm yet to get somebody in my boat that, gives me the good chance, that wants to work with me, take a little bit of coaching. I've yet not to have a successful fish landed by each angler I get in my boat that's willing to learn, wants to learn the new skill. And it's very rewarding, over a 4 or even a 6-hour trip. I can see somebody go from not having a lot of confidence to, by the end of that, like, they know when they need to mend. They're seeing when they need to set the hook. They know that's a better fish. I need to give it a little bit of line. He's going to take a little bit of line on me. So that's been just a blast. Seeing that through people, seeing people get excited about fly fishing. And a lot of people just in general are amazed at the beauty of Arkansas here in northern Arkansas on the White River.
You know what's amazing when somebody says White River and Cotter,
yes, sir.
They automatically think about big browns.
That's correct. That is correct. And, we're always fishing for those browns. It's always a treat. I mean, I'm always excited to go after the browns. And our rainbows, though, here are pretty special, too. And now with the new regulations, we're getting some bigger rainbows. So right now from the dam down to the confluence area, everything that's over 14 inches has to be immediately released, and we are seeing some large rainbows from that. Definitely some 17 to 18 inches. It seems like daily, and running across multiple ones over 20 some days. Which that's a heck of a fight. It's a totally different fight than brown. Mm-hmm. A lot of times those 22, 24 inch rainbows, they'll give you just as hard of a time as that 2-foot brown trout, and it's a special fish.
So when you're coaching somebody, what is it like, to see them struggle for 3 or 4, for a while, for half an hour or so, and then finally see it all come together and watch that arc of a line just peel out and it looks perfect and it lands right where it's supposed to, the way it's supposed to? What is it like for you as a coach and a mentor to see that out of somebody?
It's extremely rewarding, and you see it through them. You see them taking the steps, a little bit of frustration usually, and then they're starting to get more comfortable. They're building a little bit of confidence. Then they'll hook one, and maybe, we give them a little bit of slack. He comes unhooked. But on the next one, they know, okay, I gave him a little too much line there. I'm going to make sure I keep my rod bent on this next one. And to see that first fish hit the net, that excitement, that smile, get that picture with your first fish on the fly rod, it's extremely rewarding. It's hard to put it into words, but that's one of the things I really, really enjoy. I do a lot of kids trips on the boat and on dry run, and that's fun too. It's a blast getting the youngins involved, getting the first timers involved.
right,
I do a lot of husband and wife trips. Go ahead.
We're
Sorry.
visiting with Ben Du Bois. We're going to take us a break, and we'll be back for the home stretch on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Hang with us. We'll talk to you in a minute, Ben.
Take it from Arkansas greats Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, it's Shark Month 2 at Gwatney Buick GMC. Shark Month promises the biggest deals of the year and ready to take a bite out of your payment. New Invistas starting at under $24,000. Sink your teeth into Sierra 1500s, up to $15,000 off MSRP. Sharks can smell a deal for miles around, like all new Buicks on the lot at 0.9. Are you underwater? Let's trade. Canyons at just $249 per month and Sierras at 0%. It's Shark Month 2. And you're going to need a bigger truck. Call Gwatney Buick GMC at 501-945-4444. Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Stock numbers 32616, 32661. Some offers require qualifying trade-in. Canyon is a low mileage lease. All offers are approved credit.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-600-2763. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-600-2763. That's 501-600-2763.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
If you're a bank needing GLBA compliance or a defense contractor looking for CMMC compliance, meet the team at Network Services Group with tailored solutions to help you navigate the complex regulatory landscape, allowing you to focus on what matters most, your clients and your growth. Don't gamble with compliance. Network Services Group, your partner in GLBA and CMMC compliance.
Services Group. One call does it all.
We're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Before we continue with our interview, I do want to say this. It's the time of the year. Those of you who love to fish and you get out and you're having success or whatever, you're up in a cove somewhere, make sure you take your phone with you. Be weather aware. These pop-up storms can be really, really severe and catch you out on the lake, and you get trapped and you're in big trouble.
And we are back with Ben Du Bois, a fly fishing guide in Cotter. Tell us again, Ben, about your business, the name, how people get in touch with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm Ben Du Bois, Cotter Elite Anglers, you can find me on the website, on Google at CotterEliteAnglers.com. On Instagram, my Instagram page is Cotter Elite Anglers on there.
So from your career, you got a degree in agricultural engineering. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It's agricultural systems technology management, and I got a minor in wildlife habitat management from the University of Arkansas.
And that led you to a pretty diverse career that has included a lot of guiding, hunting guiding, fishing guiding, all kinds of stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I interned under a ranch manager on a big ranch that was about 1,000 acres, high fence ranch, 2,500 acres, low fence. That was in Missouri. I worked at a place in Arkansas where I guided free range deer hunts, turkey hunts. We did upland quail hunts, pheasant hunts. Also guided fly fishing there, wade fishing. From there, we went out to Colorado for a brief little bit. COVID cut us a little short, but we spent some time in Carbondale. It was fun. A couple of years out there, and then I lived in East Texas. My wife and I did for 4 years, and I worked in the high fence industry down there, guiding hunts, raising whitetails. And funny enough, when I was doing that, I was using all my vacation time to come up here and spend some time on the White River trout fishing, and started thinking, we could kind of make this our own thing. We could make this the everyday routine, and here we are. So better late than never.
Tell us, for people that are kind of wondering, because you hear it all the time, I'm sure, man, you got the dream job. What is that lifestyle like?
Early morning.
I absolutely love it. It is a lot of work. I know our full day trip's an 8-hour trip. A lot of people think, that's an 8-hour day. Well, there's a lot more that goes into it than that. I tie most all my own flies, so I spend a lot of time on the vise, a lot of time rigging rods, a lot of time cleaning the boat, cooler, drinks, lunches, and everything like that ready. It is quite the grind, but it is very rewarding work, and to do it for myself is truly a dream come true. Some bumps in the roads here and there, but we're over 2 years in and feel great about things. Definitely, I'm growing my client base, returning clients. That's been a whole lot of fun. Clients becoming, more like friends and family now that I've fished with them 5-6 times. Some people more than that.
Speaking of family, is your wife fly fish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She does, and she is pretty darn good at it. She hasn't got a ton of it in here this last year with the new baby, but she sure gets out there. Yesterday we got out just for a little bit with some friends, and it didn't take her but about 5 minutes to land a brown trout. So she knows what she's doing. She's pretty good.
Well, one of the break-in procedures for a new parent with a new baby is to have the child on your back in one of those backpacks, and to hook it in the back of the head with a fly as you're going out.
Well, we hadn't broken in quite like that. Wade fishing with them on Christmas Eve. That was nice. It was pretty warm weather. It's perfect for some wade fishing, not very busy. And he loves getting out on the boat. We'll get his life jacket on him and get him a little shade thing set up. And a lot of times they'll take him a 2-hour nap or so. So that gives dad or mom a little bit of time to do some fishing. It's been pretty special. I'm very excited to raise him here on this river. I grew up in Fayetteville, so not far from here, but every chance we got, we were coming over here, spending the weekend, spending the holiday weekend, 3 days or whatever it was we had. But super excited to get him going on Dry Run Creek and watch him on the river, and it's what a place to be.
Man, you're going to fish with Brian. You just got a really good taste of his sense of humor.
Yeah, and I'll do some buddy golf. I'll do a good buddy golf imitation for you while I'm there, without the smoke. I don't smoke, but I can act like I do. Yeah. I can act like I do while I do that buddy golf draw. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes, I do.
I hope Buddy looked better than that doing it.
You had to know him, Ray. That's all I can say. We're
he was quite the character.
Hey, I'm going to see you Thursday, and I can't wait. And look forward to look forward to sharing that visit with the readers of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And also, I'd love to have you back on maybe to talk about it next week, because I think we're going to have us a good time.
Sure.
All right.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, our river's constantly changing, different hatches and stuff. Every day fish is a little bit different. I'd love to be back on. That sounds great.
Ben,
and I'm looking forward to Thursday.
Ben, make sure next week that you tell some Brian Hendricks stories, okay?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I said make sure next week you tell some Brian Hendricks stories.
You got it.
All right. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this week. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. We had a couple of outstanding guests. Going to be hot out there. Be careful when you get out. And again, look for those late afternoon thunderstorms if you're out on the waterways. And by all means, slip out there and enjoy the Arkansas.
That's right.